there is a trick in this game which no one ever talks about. See, a lot of people do what I like to call the Einstein insanity. We've all heard this before. Doing the same thing on repeat over and over again and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. Yet, as Division 2 players, the larger player base at large, when they struggle with something, they don't change anything. So I've been hit with this comment. I have hidden it. I'm not trying to single this person out. This is a valid point. However, this is yet again one of those points of that's a you issue, not a build issue. Okay, capacitor has to build up stacks. I went over this in the capacitor versus test subject video. Perfectly good point. At longer ranges, it's hard to build up stacks because the PDR isn't exactly a very accurate weapon. So being able to just hit one bullet and get that 40% increase for both your skills and your weapon is potentially a better option, etc, etc. He does go on to say that this is the reason he uses harmony, but a lot of the time he struggles to keep up capacitor stacks. As much as this is true, this is also a you problem. I spent the best part of about 40 minutes just doing the intro area to Capital Legendary on repeat with capacitor. My average stack that I maintained throughout just this area was 35. I don't have an issue maintaining stacks. Granted, just because I don't doesn't mean that you do, kind of thing. But again, you're making an issue out of what you perceive, not how the game's math lines up. Okay, it's a you issue. Now, I then replied to this person saying, well, if you're struggling in this area, change your build. And this seems to be like a sort of thing that no one thinks about or does. So I'm just going to play very poorly for this bit. I play slightly better in the next one, but there I are. Dead. Can't do the area. It's difficult. So I'm going to go in again. I'm going to play slightly better this time, I swear. And I get a little bit further. You can also see me maintain throughout this playthrough, this bit here, till I die. I average 38 stacks throughout this bit here. So maintaining stacks is absolutely a player issue. If you're unable to maintain stacks with capacitor, then it's you doing something wrong. It's not the game doing something wrong. It's not the math lining up. It is purely you. And I'm not like pinning that on the person that left that comment. I mean it for everyone. So by this, what I quite simply mean is, because the math says so, therefore it's fact, as much as player reference and player skill becomes an issue at this point, that's immaterial to me. The fact is, in this scenario, on a turret and drone build, with the skill tiers I have lined up, with the overarching build, capacitor will 100% do more than test subject. There's no denying this fact. It's set in stone. It's a mathematical law. It outright does more damage. Even if it does take you longer to build up stacks, just because capacitor will be hitting harder shot for shot, you will make up the difference in DPS that your skills won't be doing without in sync. However, just because it's mathematical fact, and I'm saying this blah-de-blah-de-blah, doesn't mean that you have to use capacitor. You are free to use what you want. And this is not actually meant to be a capacitor versus test subject video. This is meant to be, there is one thing that for some weird reason the player base just doesn't do. When they hit a brick wall that they just can't get through. I've noticed a lot of people struggle to get through this area on Capitol Hill on Legendary. So many people struggle to get through this area. It is, granted, an absolute ball ache. It is completely open, there's limited cover, and there's a lot of enemies coming at you from one direction, and then there's chungers and warhounds, and it just ends up being a complete mess. And the mess typically ends up in you dying, and dying, and dying. did I mention dying? However, one thing that no one ever does after dying is change their bloody build. I've changed my build now. I want to show you something. I tried so many different ways utilising the exact same skill build to push through that area. I'm just going to oxy the bridge. Just oxy the bridge. Oxy that little underpass bit there. Throw a grenade to proc overcharge. And I'm just going to stand here. Oh no, I got shot. They are. Bridge area done. Complete. Problem solved. Change your build. 9 times out of 10, the issues that players have in the game when they hit a brick wall and they can't progress and they can't get any further is you're making the problem for yourself. Change your build. Try something new. Figure out another way around it. If you're just using the same build and you're just beating and beating into that brick wall and you're not getting anywhere, change your build. Try something new. That doesn't mean keep the same build and try a different tactic rather than come from the left, come from the right. No, full on change your build. That took like 10 seconds. And you can do it again with the next spawn. You can oxy your entire way into Capital. Haven't even got to fire a shot. This is how we'd complete Capitol Hill in like 6 minutes. I'm not even joking. We can complete Capitol Hill in 6 minutes. And we get in there in like 20 seconds. Change your build, please.